Hello children, welcome to AIMS India online live session. Biology, nutrition in plants. Children, you already studied about the different components of food like carbohydrates, proteins, fats, lipids, vitamins and minerals. Now this lesson, how the nutrition takes place in plants. So let us study about the nutrition in plants. You all know that the food is an important and basic thing for life. Carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals are the components of food. These components are necessary for all living beings. All plants and animals require food for their growth and metabolism. What is metabolism, children? Metabolism means the activities, the life activities like nutrition, respiration, excretion, reproduction. All these are called metabolic activities. These metabolic activities require energy. So that energy is available through the nutrition process. The process of procurement of nutrients is called nutrition. What is the meaning of procurement? Procurement means intake. The process by which, or the process how the organisms obtain the nutrients is called nutrition. Animals are called heterotrophs. Why? Because they depend on other organisms for their food. Animals cannot synthesize their own food. Why? Because they don't have chlorophyll. So that's why they come under heterotrophs. They depend on other organisms for their food requirement. Plants are called autotrophs. Why plants are called autotrophs? Because they can synthesize their own food. They can synthesize their own food. Okay, children? So food is the basic requirement for life. For what purpose the food is required? The food is required for growth and metabolism. Okay, let us proceed. Mode of nutrition in plants. Generally, we are in opinion that plants undergo autotrophic nutrition only. They can synthesize their own food by photosynthesis. But interestingly, some plants are there which cannot synthesize their own food, or which can compensate their nutrition, or nutrients by depending upon other organisms also. So that also we are going to discuss. So plants obtain the nutrients by various modes. The mode of nutrition can be divided into two distinct types. Plants can be divided into autotrophs, heterotrophs. Autotrophs and heterotrophs. So autotrophic nutrition. The term autotrophic nutrition is not new. You have been come across the term autotroph and photosynthesis from your lower classes onwards. So let us recall. Okay. Auto means self. Auto means self. Troph means nutrition, self nourishment. self-nourishment. The meaning of autotrophic nutrition is self-nourishment. Plants are called autotrophs because they make their food themselves. The making of food for themselves is called autotrophic nutrition. What is autotrophic nutrition? Making of food for themselves is called autotrophic nutrition. So here a plant. So this plant is an autotroph. Why? Because it is preparing its own food by using some requirements from the atmosphere, such as sunlight, water, carbon dioxide, and in the chloroplast, the food material in the form of glucose is synthesized or prepared. So this water is available to the plant through roots. So once again, what are autotrophs? Autotrophs are the organisms which can synthesize their own food. Example, all green plants, some bacteria and algae come under this category, autotrophic nutrition. Next, the mode of nutrition. Autotrophic nutrition is found in green plants. If the autotrophs prepare their own food by utilizing the chemical or chemical energy, they are called chemoautotrophs. Chemoautotrophs are the organisms which synthesize their own food by utilizing the oxidation of some chemicals, and the energy released from those chemicals is utilized for the synthesis of food material. Such autotrophs are called chemoautotrophs. Example, certain bacteria, sulfur bacteria is one of the bacteria which can perform chemoautotrophic nutrition. Next, heterotrophic nutrition in plants. Heterotrophic, the word heterotrophic is the combination of two words, hetero plus trophs. The meaning is hetero, others, trophs means nourishment. The organism which obtain their food by depending on other organisms are called heterotrophs, and the nutrition is called heterotrophic nutrition. It is also one of the major type of nutrition in most of the living organisms other than plants, algae and some bacteria. So here in plants also, certain group of plants undergo the heterotrophic nutrition. For example, fungi like mushroom. Here one example is given, mushroom is a non-green plant. So most of the heterotrophic plants are non-green. So fungi is a non-green plant which develops or grows on the dead and decomposing organic matter. So such organisms are called heterotrophs. And certain plants like parasites are there, some parasites which grow on host and obtain their nutrients. And certain group of plants like insectivorous plants, they perform autotrophic nutrition. Additionally, heterotrophic nutrition also performed by them. So such insectivorous plants also come under partial heterotrophs. Next, let us study in detail about this heterotrophic nutrition in plants. If the organism depends on other for their food, it is called heterotrophic nutrition. So animals cannot make their own food, so they are heterotrophs. They depend for food upon plants. Therefore, nutrition in animals is called heterotrophic nutrition. and the animals are called heterotrophs. In plants also certain heterotrophic plants are there. Just now we have discussed. The plants can be further, heterotrophic plants can be further divided into parasites, saprophytes and symbiotic plants. What are the groups of heterotrophic plants? Parasitic plants, saprophytic plants and symbiotic plants. The parasitic plants, if you take parasitic plants, the parasite means the dependent organism. This dependent organism, on which it depends? On host organism it depends. So such a organism which depends on host for its nutrients is called a parasite. So here mistletoe is one of the example of these parasitic plants. It is growing on these host plant, the branch of the host, and the host tissue, xylem and phloem tissue. The parasite produce some special root like structures called hastoria. Hastoria are the special root like structures. So these hastoria can produce, then absorbs the nutrients from the host plant. So it is a chlorophyllous leaves are present, but they are not completely perform photosynthesis. So some of the nutrients it acquired by observing from the host plant. So such plants are called parasitic plants. Photosynthesis, autotrophic nutrition, photosynthesis as a food making process in plants. The process of making of food by green plants in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll is known as photosynthesis. So this is the process of photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is the combination of two words. What are those two words? Photo plus synthesis. Photo means light and synthesis means to make or to prepare. Photosynthesis, the process by which the organism makes its food material by utilizing sunlight. Such organisms are called photoautotrophs. Example, green plants. So this green plant, it is preparing its own food material by utilizing the energy present in sunlight and the carbon dioxide from atmosphere and the water from the soil reach the target organ. What is that? Green leaf. In this leaf, this process of photosynthesis takes place. During this process, this carbon dioxide and water, they combined. They are simple inorganic substances. They combined in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll and form a complex organic substance called glucose or starch. Glucose is simple. So this glucose is converted to complex organic substance called starch. So this process is called photosynthesis. Let's study more about this photosynthesis. The process of food making in green plants. The green plants make their own food by themselves. The green leaves are useful. Green leaves make food from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and a green pigment called chlorophyll. Hence, for taking place of photosynthesis, what are the requirements? Carbon dioxide, water, sunlight, these are must and should. So these must be reached at the green leaves in addition to the presence of chlorophyll. So the requirements: carbon dioxide, water and sunlight reach the leaf where chlorophyll is present, and in the presence of that chlorophyll and sunlight, this photochemical reaction, it is called photochemical reaction, took place. During this process, a gas is evolved, that is oxygen. Oxygen is produced during photosynthesis, and the gas which is used during photosynthesis is carbon dioxide. So by the process of photosynthesis, which gas is removed from the atmosphere? Carbon dioxide. Which gas is added to the atmosphere? Oxygen. Okay, children, let us proceed. Leaves have several tiny pores. In order to perform this photosynthesis, some basic requirements, all these requirements must be supplied, then only the chemical reaction takes place. So how the carbon dioxide is available, how it is reaching the leaves, that is also very important. So leaves have several tiny pores or tiny pores like structures on its lower surface. Compared to upper surface, these pores are more in number in the lower surface of the leaf. So these pores are called stomata. The tiny pores present in the leaves through which gaseous exchange takes place, they are called stomata, through which the leaves absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere or air. So these are the structures. If you take the internal structure of leaf, the lower surface epidermis of the leaf contain minute holes, they are called stoma, and the structure called as stomata. These stomata are guarded by the kidney shaped cells called Guard cells. They regulate the entry of air and the excess of water in the form of water vapor. Means leaves are the structures which are multi-purposely useful, like for photosynthesis, for transpiration and for respiration also. These leaves are useful organs. As the food material is synthesized in the leaves are also called as the kitchen of the plant cell, or the food factories of the plant, where the food is manufactured by photosynthesis. Next, what is the next requirement after carbon dioxide? Important reactant is water. Water is transported to the leaves through hair-like pipelines from the roots. These pipelines are present throughout the plant, that is from roots to the tip of the leaves, or from roots to branches and leaves. These pipelines are known as xylem vessels, and the tissue is called xylem tissue. This xylem tissue consists of xylem vessels. So these xylem vessels are the minute pipelines through which water reach the leaves. Okay, children, the two basic requirements for photosynthesis is carbon dioxide and water. These are called reactants. How carbon dioxide is available to the plant? From the atmosphere. How that carbon dioxide enters into the leaf? Through minute pores called stomata. Then how water is available? The water from the soil is absorbed by root hairs, and the roots and the entire plant is supplied with pipelines. They are called xylem. Through xylem the water is transported to the leaves. Okay, these are the requirements available to the plant for photosynthesis. Let us see another requirement, the important requirement, chlorophyll. The chlorophyll is a green pigment. It is found in the green leaves. This chlorophyll main function is to absorb sunlight, carbon dioxide and water. Mainly to observe the sunlight. And after observing, what it will do? It converts them to carbohydrate and oxygen. Carbohydrate and oxygen. The reactants carbon dioxide and water, and the products are carbohydrate and oxygen. The carbohydrate in the form of glucose and oxygen. So this oxygen is released from the water molecule. Okay, the reactant water molecule, some amount of that water molecule releases oxygen after the completion of reaction. So that's why oxygen is considered as the byproduct of photosynthesis. So here once again the reaction, sunlight, carbon dioxide and water in the presence of green pigment called chlorophyll undergo photochemical reaction and produce sugar and oxygen. So the carbohydrate is used as a food and oxygen is emitted out to atmosphere. So this whole process of making food by plants, it is considered as, it is called as photosynthesis. It is called photosynthesis. So this is a green plant. By using the reactants carbon dioxide, water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll undergoes photosynthesis reaction and synthesize carbohydrate or the food material and release oxygen during this process. Next, the reaction takes place in the process of photosynthesis can be written as, it is a complete equation representing the photosynthesis, 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of solar energy and chlorophyll gives rise to C6H12O6 sugar, 6H2O water and 6O2 oxygen is produced. So this is the entire story of photosynthesis can be represented in the form of a chemical equation, that is 6CO2 plus 12H2O in the presence of light and chlorophyll gives rise to C6H12O6 glucose and 6O2 and 6H2O. This is the photosynthesis reaction. The carbohydrate which is produced in the process of photosynthesis is ultimately converted into starch. The carbohydrate which is produced in the form of glucose, if it is in that glucose form only, means what happened? It is utilized in the leaf itself. So it must be converted into the complex form called starch. Starch is a polysaccharide and it is stored in the leaves and transported to other parts of the plant. So here previously we studied xylem tissue. Xylem tissue carrying the water molecules and minerals. And after the completion of photosynthesis, another tissue, phloem tissue. So that phloem tissue carries the synthesized food material to the different parts of the plant. Because plant required energy for growth. So that energy is available, the food material which is synthesized from which more than 50% is utilized by the plant itself. So that must be transported to different parts, and where excess of food is stored in the roots, fruits and other parts of the plant. Next, from the leaves it is transported to the parts of plant. That starch is a type of carbohydrate which is transported, and the oxygen so produced is released into the atmosphere once again through the stomata, whereas starch is transported by phloem tissue to different organs of the plant, whereas oxygen is released into the atmosphere through stomata. So this is about the photosynthesis and autotrophic nutrition in plants. So let us test ourselves. The quiz number 1. The food making process in plants is called as glycolysis, photosynthesis, photolysis, digestion. So what is the process? Photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? The process by which plants make their own food. Due to this process only, the plants are considered as autotrophs. Next question. Which part of the plant is called its food factory? Stem, leaves, roots, flowers. What are the plants called food factories of the plant? Yes, leaves are called the food factories of the plant. Why they are called food factories? Because the manufacture or the synthesis of food taking place in the leaves. Why only leaves? Why not other parts of the plant? Because the organization of leaf is suitable for the manufacturing of food materials in the plant. That chlorophyll pigment is specially present in the leaves. Next question. Tiny pores present on the surface of leaves through which the gaseous exchange occurs are called gas holes, food holes, stomata, air sacs. What is that minute or tiny holes present in the leaves? Stomata. So these stomata are guarded by the kidney shaped cells. So these gap is called as stoma, and the structure is present on the epidermis of the leaf, especially which epidermis of the leaf? Lower epidermis of the leaf containing these more stomata. So these stomata are the structures through which carbon dioxide enters the leaves and the oxygen released from the leaves. So stomata acts like lungs of the tree, okay, through which the exchange of gases takes place. Next, what is the ultimate source of energy for all living organisms? Water energy, wind energy, solar energy, chemical energy. What is the universal source of energy? Sunlight, okay, solar energy. Next, green pigment present in the leaves is called hemoglobin, albumin, keratin, chlorophyll. What is that green pigment? Yes, chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green pigment present in the leaves in the special structure called chloroplast. Chloroplasts are the structures in which this chlorophyll pigment is present. Okay, because of presence of this pigment only photosynthesis is possible. Next question, during photosynthesis plants, what happens in the plants? They take oxygen and release carbon dioxide. They take carbon dioxide and release oxygen. They take carbon dioxide but do not release oxygen, or they take oxygen but do not release carbon dioxide. Read the question carefully. During photosynthesis, plants, what plants do? Plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen. What is that equation representing the photosynthesis? 6CO2 plus 12H2O. So the plants are using carbon dioxide. So the carbon dioxide is utilized for the photosynthesis, and during this oxygen is produced as a product and it is released. So the statement, plants take carbon dioxide and release oxygen during photosynthesis. Next, during photosynthesis, once again the statements, solar energy is converted into chemical energy, solar energy is converted into mechanical energy, chemical energy is converted into mechanical energy, and bioenergy is converted into chemical energy. So what is happening here during photosynthesis? Solar energy is converted into chemical energy. What is that chemical energy? In the form of starch or carbohydrate is synthesized from the inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water. So here chemical bonds, new bonds are formed, and the chemical energy is produced by utilizing solar energy during photosynthesis. Next, the raw materials for photosynthesis are carbon dioxide and water, carbon dioxide, oxygen and hydrogen, nitrogen and water, oxygen and water. So what is the, once again recall the equation of photosynthesis. What is that? 6CO2 plus 12H2O gives rise to C6H12O6 plus 6H2O plus 6O2. Okay, so what are the raw materials? Raw materials is nothing but the reactants of photosynthesis. What are the reactants? Carbon dioxide and water. Next, the end products of photosynthesis are carbohydrates, oxygen, carbohydrates, hydrogen, carbohydrates, water vapor, carbohydrates, oxygen and water vapors. So here the two options are closely related. So equation, if you remember, means you can easily attempt these type of questions. So what are the end products of photosynthesis? Carbohydrates, oxygen and water vapors. Okay children, these three are the products, right hand side of the equation. Next, what is the compound that plants use to absorb the energy from light. Energy from light is absorbed by which compound? Carbon dioxide, water, DNA, chlorophyll. What is that compound? CO2, H2O, DNA and chlorophyll. Obviously, what is the correct answer? Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the pigment which absorbs the light of specific wavelength. Okay. Next question. The organisms which can make its own food from simple inorganic substances are known as autotrophs, consumers, herbivores, carnivores. What are those organisms? Autotrophs. Self synthesis of food material. Such organisms are called autotrophs. Can you give some example? Green plants, algae and certain photosynthetic bacteria. Okay. Okay, children, read textbook and watch the videos. Thank you for watching our video. Please subscribe our channel to get the latest updates. Please press the bell icon for receiving latest updates.